What's going on, YouTube? In this new series, I'm going to try every new meta build in the O2O season in Path of Exile 2. Let's get into it.
Quick lap around the monument. Hello everybody, it's me, Farum, and today we're here with Path of Exile 2, going over my endgame Deadeye build.
So Farm has released a video where he's using an LS Deadeye build that isn't Serpent. That doesn't have like Serpent's Fury on it. So we are going to pull up his POE and we're going to just see if we can mimic. I got most of the gear already. So he wants to use a headhunter for the sake of the price, because as much as I want to drop 22 Divine and a headhunter, I do like my ingenuity. It's got the 3 triumph slots. So we're going to see if we can skip just this one corner to make this build work, because I don't believe in the video he states that the headhunter is a priority for this build. Like, I don't think are a necessity for this build. I don't think this is a necessity. So we're gonna not get the headhunter and we're gonna settle for the 2630 ingenuity build, or ingenuity belt. Everything else that he has though, I'm pretty sure I have. So let's take a look at what he's got. So I set this up just a little bit earlier than when I started making this video. So he's got the deepest tower, which is what I have. He has plus 30 spirit. I don't have the 30 spirit, but I do have the deepest tower. He's got the 60% extra fire for the Sacred Flame. I have that as well. His is double socketed. For the sake of the price, we're going to see if we can get away with a single socket. He's got ES only 284 with int and cold res. I have lightning fire and some, I don't see movement speed on these. I'm assuming he's got like 30% movement speed on those at least. He's got the Howas. I have the Howas, and he's got the Tangle Tongue. I have the Tangle Tongue. His chest piece is triple res with life. Mine's triple res with life. He's got a ring with double added damage. I have one with double added damage and rarity. And then he's got one with triple added damage and int. And I have one with triple added damage and int. Ours are almost exactly the same. Let's see if I can save this here. Ours are almost exactly the same for this ring. I mean, pretty much everything in this build is exactly the same. Right, because he's got the triple, I have the triple, and int, and then double res with the chaos being in there. He's not using the unique life flask. That's alright. And he's using the unique slow charm, I believe. That says magic. Maybe he is only using the magic one. But I have double freeze charms, because I hate being frozen. And then I have a bleeding charm. So as in terms of like mimic, this is like pretty close to what I can get for this. I say it's almost exactly the same. Let's take a look. We did do a little bit of pathing already for this. So let's just see if we can take a look without this getting in the way. Okay. I'm going to actually pull this over to here. The link to this POB will be in the description below, so if you guys want to take a look. I'm just making sure that I have everything set up properly. I am level 96, so I should be able to get most of this, if not all of it. Alrighty, so we finished out his passive tree that he had on his POE. Most of this is pretty much similar. The only thing I changed was these 4 because my evasion was dropping. I know in the video his evasion's pretty low. This is just my this is just me changing just like one thing. Everything else is pretty much identical though. So we'll see how this works, and let's start some mapping with Farm's build. Okay, so we're jumping into our first map here. I already know that the Lightning Spear builds are like really good. They're very good at like full screen clearing. So far, it feels like any other LS build, truthfully. Just full map clearing, pretty easy. It's like the one-click kind of mindless builds. Say mindless, but I like these types of builds. I don't like to do a lot of setup. Setup just really isn't my thing. The mindless builds are definitely ones that I lean towards the most, I would say. We got a strongbox. Not bad. Some of the strong boxes are good. I don't really like the blacksmith one, and I don't like. I think there's the other one is armors. Those strong boxes I haven't had much luck on. Just the regular ones are pretty good though. Tier 5 Guardians, bro. So he's using on his like Orb of Storm. He has rage. He has like rage allocated or font of rage allocated. So I'm assuming that's what he's using to like prep his fights with like T4 Pinnacle bosses. Just for that added damage bonus from rage. I think he also has Font of Blood on it too, if I'm not mistaken. Where's the Orb of Storm? Right here. So he's got Font of Rage, Font of Blood, Persistence, and Blind. Alright, we're going to try our first unique boss with this build. He says in the video that he uses this and Stormlands. It's pretty quick. I'd say that was pretty good. So he's using with the deepest tower, you have to make sure that you're close to others, like or close to the enemy when you're fighting them, because this right here reduces your presence area, and so I'm assuming that's why he had the double socketed Sacred Flame is so that way you can increase it by another 20% on top of the first 20% that you get with just one socket. The other thing I probably could recommend is if you wanted to increase it more, you could get that Ox Talisman and slap it on your boots. But with the reses that we have now, I don't think that that would be necessarily an option for us. But you could use it if you already had your reses handled with some of these things. Like if you corrupted your deepest tower and you had another additional res on it, then you might be able to pull one of those and put in the Ox Talisman to get another increased presence. But this feels pretty good so far. I mean, it's like a lot of the other LS builds it's just like constant, screen clearing. Survivability feels good. And most of these rares are getting one-shotted, which is nice. Some of them do require two, but so far this feels pretty good. We do have tier 4 breach unlocked, so this is like a breach with all tiers. That just so we got. Alrighty, so that's map complete. That's our first map with Farms build, and so far my opinion is that the build is pretty good. I mean, it's able to full clear screens. We didn't have any trouble with the unique bosses or the map bosses. Didn't have any issues with those like whatsoever. And now we're gonna jump into some of the T4 Pinnacle bosses and see how well we do with those. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the tier 4 breach. Reckon that we'll have too much trouble, as we didn't really have much trouble when we were doing the mapping, the initial mapping. Build does feel pretty nice though. I mean, most LS builds feel nice. Most of those lightning spear builds, you don't really have much trouble doing a lot of mobs or a lot of enemies at once. said, that was pretty easy. And then in his videos, what he does is he takes off Herald and Blasphemy and puts on Trinity. So that's what we're gonna try here.
We that dreamed, we in nightmare, we that are one.
And I think he just spams like
The abyss not
it's pretty quick. That is pretty quick, I'd have to say so myself. That is very quick. Holy smokes. Oh, we got a diamond. Nice.
Don't mind if I do.
And we got like... That might be pretty good. So, no trouble at all on the tier 4... Oops.
Drift in my training.
On the tier 4 breach boss, Zesh. Okay, we're gonna start with King of the Mist. What I think might be a better option here is to try to see if we can gain as much rage as we possibly can. Almost just died there, but we did pretty well. It's pretty quick. First phase wasn't terribly hard. Accidentally almost just ate like a full blank attack from him. Let's see how the second phase goes. I know we're trying to gain as much rage as we possibly can. That was very quick. Very quick. Holy smokes. Okay, let me just sort through this loot, and then we're gonna jump into Arbiter. Alrighty, so we just got into Arbiter. We have our fragments. We're gonna see if we can one-shot Arbiter like we did before. Now, I don't have tier 4 Arbiter unlocked. I only have up to tier 3. So we'll see if we can one-shot tier 3 Arbiter in this first go around. I haven't done a lot of Arbiter. Didn't do a lot in last season. I did like a little bit in last season. Like I got up to my tier 4 and I farmed him a little bit, but I had the Invoker Monk and the Stormweaver, and both of those kind of one-shot him, so I'm not crazy familiar with the mechanics.
You are too late. The fourth edict already burns for your
Mana up. Okay, I know this mechanic at least. Oh no. Okay. Well, we didn't kill him first try. Let's see if we can kill him second try.
You are too late. The fourth edict already burns for your
Just stepped out there. so we did kill him the second try, which is good. This is tier 3 Arbiter, not tier 4, I should say. We did get our Book of Knowledge, so we do have tier 4 unlocked now. So for the remainder of this season, we'll be doing tier 4. But I'd say that that's pretty good. I mean, the first time that we did it, I don't really know a lot of the mechanics with Arbiter. Like I said, like last season I had the Invoker Monk, so I kind of just one-shot him the entire time. I didn't really have the opportunity to learn all the mechanics, but as you can see, I'm trying my best to learn him as we go. So we one-shot him on the second try. We do have all of our stuff now, and I think this one's not crazy good, but with the elemental res, I think that makes it all right. Okay, so now that we're done with the Arbiter, we're going to do T4 Simulacrum. Okay, we're gonna start the Simulacrum. I did make one change. I can show you guys what the change is after. Essentially what it was is, instead of going with the extra projectile from the Ascendancy node that we had before, I opted for Tailwind. Because I think having a higher evasion is going to be more beneficial in the simulacrums, with everything just trying to kill you at once. Okay, so there is Simulacrum wave 1. I'll be back when we get to wave 14. Okay, so what I was saying about before was, in the passive tree he has the point blank and he also has endless munitions, and we just changed them out because I think having Tailwind is going to be better than having the extra or the additional projectile. That being said, it's mainly because we want the evasion. It doesn't really have anything to do with the movement speed or the skill speed. It has more to do with the evasion stacks, and if we can get maxed out evasion stacks, we're going to be sitting at like 78 evasion. Too bad. Wave 14. Wave 15.
That would only slow me down.
Got a bunch of good stuff.
Believe me, you will fall exile.
Try to hang around right where they spawn, so that way we can kill them as soon as we get them. Just like that. we go. Anything good? No, we got a closed helm and a few other stuff. But that is T4 Simulacrum completed. There's the proof. T4. All in all, I would give this meta build of Farham's, I would give it an 8 out of 10. The reason being is because the mapping is real fun, it's real easy, it's kind of mindless, which, you know, a lot of people like that type of mindless, just grinding. The Pinnacle bosses, this build kills them really fast. It really did well with Arbiter. It did well with Zesh, and King of the Mist. It was probably the fastest King of the Mist build I've had in the 020 season so far. Simulacrum was a bit harder. I mean, it wasn't crazy hard. It just was a bit harder than other builds, I'd imagine. It's very hard on this build to get higher evasion and then max out the stats, right? So when I was running the Simulacrum, I noticed that if I changed my chest piece to lightning res runes instead of the increased armor evasion and energy shield, if I changed those to lightning res, it would drop my evasion to a point that made it very difficult to get through the Simulacrum. So I opted to go with the higher evasion and lower res. This was like pretty early on. This is like wave 4, wave 5, because I noticed I was just getting hit a lot. And then to stack that, I also went with the Tailwind nodes instead of the Point Blank and Endless Munitions, which we talked about earlier. All in all, this build is really fun. I might run it a little bit more. Another change I would probably make is I don't think I would have all these energy shield nodes here. I think if we pulled the energy shield from here, it's going to drop us about 400 energy shield. And we already have max... where are you? We already have 100%, I'm pretty sure. Yes, we have 100% crit chance. So what I would do is take those energy shield nodes and I would just dump them into crit damage bonus and just get as much crit damage as you possibly can. I think that in turn, actually we don't want that one. I think that would be more beneficial for the long run. I think having just a little bit more damage on the crit damage nodes and bring it up to like 560, 550 would be better. I also think that the Endless Munitions isn't a priority. I think this does a lot of enough damage, especially on single target, that you don't necessarily need the additional projectile, even though it probably will do more damage over time. Obviously, you will gain some damage with a Tailwind in the skill speed, so you'll be able to just basically throw down a lot of these Storm Lances and just continuously do damage. So I think Tailwind is a better benefit for this build outside of the Endless Munitions. Other than that, the build is pretty fun. I'll drop a link to the POB in the description, and I'll drop a link to Farham's build, the YouTube video that he made on the build, if you guys want to take a look at it. It's a very interesting video. Farham's like a genius when it comes to these types of games, and so he knows a lot of things about this game that most people probably don't know. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you would be so kind as to maybe subscribe, like the video, drop a comment. I'll also leave my Twitch in the description below as well, so you guys can jump on over to Twitch. I stream pretty much every day. My schedule is on the Twitch account, so feel free to join in. We'll be doing some group mapping as well. I like to do group mapping a few times throughout the week, so if you guys are looking for someone to map with, feel free to add me. Other than that, I appreciate you watching. Catch you guys on the next one.